Hi everyone, it's Amy from People Passion and today's video is about interview tips. My first tip would be to research the organisation. Have a look at their website, find out as much as you can about the company, about the team, maybe a little bit about the director and the company values. That way when the interviewer gives you a call to discuss the role, you're prepared. So my second tip would be to plan your route the day before. So have a look on Google Maps, figure out exactly where you're going, how long it's going to take, where you can park, all of that kind of stuff. It will really help ease any nerves in the morning of the interview. My third tip would be to arrive early, but not too early. I always say about 5 to 10 minutes before is ideal. That way you aren't inconveniencing or interrupting the interviewer at all, but it does show that you have good time management. So my next tip would be to anticipate the interviewer's questions. Maybe rehearse a couple of questions the day before. So a lot of interviewers and hiring managers, we ask quite generic questions as well as questions that are specific to the role. But the generic ones like your strengths and weaknesses, hobbies and interests and what value you can add to this role are quite straightforward. So make sure you've got a few answers up your sleeves for those. Rehearse, but don't over rehearse because you do want to appear natural. So my next tip would be to have a few questions ready for the interviewer. So depending on how the interview goes, you might be able to ask questions throughout, or you might be able to ask questions at the end of the interview. So have a few questions that you really want to know about the role or the company lined up. If the interviewer already answers them throughout the interview, maybe just adapt your questions at the end. So my next tip would be around follow-up after the interview. If you have an interview in the morning, I recommend sending an email to the hiring manager or the interviewer maybe that afternoon. Thank them for their time and that you enjoyed meeting with them and you look forward to hearing from them. I think it's a really good way to show respect for the interviewer, that you respect their time and that you appreciate the opportunity, and it might even put you at the forefront of their mind over another candidate. My next tip would be to not speak negatively about previous employers. So depending on the situation of why you are in the job market and looking for a new role, it's never a good idea to bash your previous employers. It doesn't look good for you or for them. Really think about the answer to the question, why you're looking to move on. Think of positive ways that you can answer that. Last but not least, be yourself and be genuine. If you want to hear some more tips and tricks on the interview process, application process, and anything to do with recruitment, follow us on our LinkedIn page and our Facebook page, People Passion and Jobs by People Passion.